Josh Kern joins me now. He's an editor with Raptors HQ. He is in Toronto. Josh, thanks a lot for joining us here. And as we've sort of been now, all of us trying to put the pieces together as to what has happened here, but certainly an incredible individual, an incredible athlete lost, huge loss to the sports world.
Yeah, it's just shocking. I think all of us are still trying to just wrap our heads around the reality that someone so larger than life is gone so soon.
It certainly is, and we're seeing a lot of reaction now on Twitter. One person actually tweeting out not too long ago saying, "I'm not a basketball fan. I wasn't a Kobe Bryant fan, but everyone knew who this individual was. He was a legacy. He was someone that everyone knew, and it breaks my heart that this has now happened." So it's just a testament to how many people that he touched, whether you're a basketball fan or not.
Yeah, I certainly, when somebody sort of reaches that level that, an individual like Kobe has, it goes beyond basketball and, beyond sports. He was probably one of the most famous people on the planet. Basketball's become huge in China and around the world, and Kobe was definitely a big part of that.
He talked about this happening in a helicopter crash, and we understand this was not a commercial flight. This was a private helicopter, assuming that it was his helicopter. He did love flying.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people, in Kobe's position, they have the freedom to kind of do, these sort of things that maybe day-to-day people like ourselves maybe don't have, and have the opportunity to sort of indulge in these things a little bit. He's certainly not the first athlete or famous person to perish in such a tragic way. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say.
Well, tell me what's going through your mind right now. This is someone that you have followed in your career, that you've written about, that you've talked about, watched him, break record after record, win award after award, 5 NBA championships we know under his belt. What's going through your mind?
The first thing that went through my mind was just sort of the immediacy of how, he was in the news just this weekend. LeBron James had passed him on the all-time scoring list for third place. I think, his last tweet or Instagram post was about that. So sort of just considering third all-time in NBA scoring, that's a record that, you don't think that, will ever be broken, and yet here's a guy that just did it, and here's a guy that's come along and already surpassed it. And then this sort of just takes you back into everything that Kobe's done in his career. He was just one of the great sort of pure scorers in NBA history. Could score from anywhere on the floor, did it inside and outside, sort of modeled his game after Michael Jordan, who obviously a lot of us idolized growing up, including Kobe himself. So you just sort of, the more you think about it, the more you sort of realize how much of a imprint that Kobe has had on basketball, but also basketball has had on Kobe. It's just sort of this all-encompassing thing.
It certainly is. And what about the Lakers?
I would imagine for anybody that's a fan of the Lakers, for anybody that's involved in the day-to-day with that team, including the players, of course, this would just be an incredibly tragic thing for them. I don't know off the top of my head if there's anybody left on that team who played with Kobe. Maybe Kyle Kuzma did in his first year or two. But regardless, basketball teams are like families, right? And Kobe was so closely connected with that family. And the Lakers are actually a team that's literally a family operation. Their ownership is a family. So I can't even imagine what's going through their heads today, how they can possibly get themselves ready to play their next game. I think really any team in the NBA right now, I can't imagine them getting prepared to play a game after this news.
After this has happened, and of course, investigation we know is ongoing right now to put all the pieces together to this horrific tragedy. Joshua Kern, editor with Raptors HQ in Toronto. Joshua, thank you for giving us your time today. I know it's extremely difficult, and we appreciate it, you doing so.
Thank you.